The film opens by showing a handsome man named William Traynor, who lives a very luxurious life, having everything he could ask for: abundant wealth, a luxurious house, a stable job, and loving parents. However, one rainy day, he is hit by a motorcyclist while trying to cross the street.
Don't worry.
The scene then shifts to a girl named Louisa Clark, who has just been fired from her job. The reason, none other than the bankruptcy of the restaurant where she worked. On top of that, she is faced with the urgent financial needs of her family. Louisa feels pressured by the situation and tries to find a new job as quickly as possible. Eventually, she arrives at a job center, where she is offered a position as a caregiver for a disabled man, none other than William Traynor. One bright morning, Louisa heads to her new employer's house by public bus. Upon arrival, she is immediately amazed by the enormous house and the many cars parked in the yard. Suddenly, a woman named Camilla Traynor, William's mother, greets her and invites Louisa inside. That day, Mrs. Traynor conducts an interview and introduces Louisa to William for the first time.
Then let's introduce you to Will. Are in his cupboard here. He has good days and bad days. Will, this is Louisa Clark.
I'm Will Traynor.
Louisa Clark, working for the Traynors.
As days pass, Louisa returns to William's house and meets a man named Nathan. During this illness, Nathan is William's personal medical caregiver, and he immediately hands Louisa a very detailed note about William's daily routine. Nathan also informs her about the medications William needs to take. Long story short, Louisa meets William and tries to get close to him. But William's cold attitude makes it hard for Louisa to connect with him. Louisa tries several approaches, inviting Will to go for walks, drink tea together, and even participating in all the activities he used to enjoy. However, Will continues to reject her efforts.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Not a great day.
Sorry, I was...
Sorry.
Every time I speak, he looks at me like I'm stupid.
Before she knows it, 10 days have passed, and Louisa feels completely ignored, as none of her cheerful gestures ever receive a response. Nevertheless, Louisa remains patient and composed in dealing with Will's behavior. One day, two of Will's friends, Rupert and Alicia, arrive to discuss their business venture. But their visit makes Will's mother anxious and afraid that Will may lose control. Additionally, Alicia and Rupert announce to Will that they are getting married. Hearing this, Will's face immediately changes, as Alicia turns out to be his ex-girlfriend.
I'm sorry, Will.
Congratulations.
The next day, Louisa fixes a broken photo frame, but Will's behavior toward her is so harsh that Louisa's cheerful attitude turns into frustration. Louisa tells him that she's not working there to become his friend, but because her family is in desperate need of money. After hearing that, Will begins to feel touched and starts to care about Louisa's presence. From that day on, Will deeply appreciates Louisa. He invites her to watch movies together and even stroll around the yard.
Sit down. Watch this with me.
J'ai le choix.
Meaning, but that's...
But you don't agree.
E.T. is everyone's favourite film.
E.T. is my favourite film.
That's better.
Bruce Willis, oil driller.
Suddenly, Nathan approaches Louisa and says that Will is in an unusually good mood. Nathan then takes Will to the hospital for a checkup. There, Nathan explains the paralysis his employer suffers from. A few days later, snow begins to fall, and Will becomes so cold that he must stay in bed as much as possible. When Louisa arrives, Will asks her to fix his pillow. But soon after, Louisa grows increasingly anxious about Will's deteriorating condition. She tries contacting Will's father and Nathan, but neither answers the phone. Eventually, Nathan arrives at the house, and Louisa hurriedly tells him about Will's worsening state. As a result, that entire day is spent letting William rest.
You're watching French gay porn.
You're stuck with me.
You need to rest.
Tell me something else.
The next morning, the two of them chat again in the garden. Will begins to treat Louisa kindly, touched by her personality, and without realizing it, they spend time together just to shave Will's beard. Not long after, Louisa suggests to Will's parents that she take their son out. Luckily, they agree, and Nathan tags along. During this outing, they attend a monthly horse racing event, considered the city's best. Unfortunately, Will's wheelchair gets stuck in the wet ground, preventing him from moving. Louisa asks bystanders for help, but afterward, Will gets angry at Louisa, feeling like he's just become a burden to people who shouldn't have been involved.
Will you please come with me?
I think you'll enjoy.
Following that day, Will receives a wedding invitation from Alicia and Rupert, and he decides to take Louisa as his guest. Before the event, Louisa receives news that her father has just secured a new job, arranged by Will, who has hired him at his company. Will explains that he did it so Louisa could pursue her dreams without having to be the sole breadwinner. Soon enough, Alicia's wedding day arrives. Will attends the event, accompanied by Louisa Clark. During the dance, a woman suddenly approaches Louisa, out of nowhere, and tells her that Will is a good man, while Rupert is a terrible one. Without overthinking, Louisa invites Will to dance, drawing the attention of everyone at the party. They're both truly happy in that moment, paying no mind to Alicia's wedding.
Thank you so much for coming, Will. Anyway, thank you.
What do you say? You gonna give me a whirl?
Anywhere in the world, just you and me.
After that moment, time passes once again. This time, Will, Louisa, and Nathan are at the airport heading for a vacation in France. They spend every moment together, indoors and outdoors, including one night by the beach.
No, don't. Leave them open. Don't go back to your room tonight, Clark.
Eventually, they travel again, this time to Switzerland, where Will's parents follow them to be with their son. And unexpectedly, it is here that Will reveals he intends to end his life. Will realizes that his closeness with Louisa makes him feel comfortable, but he's unsure whether his current condition can ever make Louisa truly happy.
I would never think that. Please.
But I need it to end here.
He's my son!
Yes, he's my son, too!
That you are willing to help our son end his life?
This is what he wants.
At the end of the film, Louisa is shown sitting alone, smiling while reading a letter from Will. Will writes that Louisa had succeeded in making him fall in love. He also leaves his entire inheritance to Louisa's family. He hopes Louisa will continue her education and live a better life. That's the end of the movie. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for updates on the latest videos. See you in the next one.